Heyo! Welcome to the $100 MBA Show, and today is a Q&A weekend episode where we answer your questions right here on the show. If you have a question you want to ask, just email us at contact@100mba.net, or you can use our Speak It option where you record your question and we'll play it right here on the air. You can check that out on our show page at 100mba.net/show. Today's question comes from Sarah, and Sarah asks, I only have $1,000 to start my online business. What do I spend it on? Wow, what a tough question, but I like the challenge, Sarah. I'm going to give you my answer, so let's get down to business. Guys, today's show is sponsored by one of my favorite podcasts, Freedom Fastlane. The number one show of your goal is to have more freedom and more money in 2015. Open up iTunes right now and search Freedom Fastlane and hit subscribe. Okay, Sarah, you got $1,000 to start your online business and you want to know how to spend it or what to spend it on. I always advise anybody who starts a business to start writing about what they're going to be offering through a blog, and that doesn't really cost too much to get started. You could start a blog on WordPress or using Squarespace. And it's quite cheap. It's going to cost you around $10 a month. So starting a website, your first website for your business, doesn't really need to cost too much. Even if you go with the WordPress option and you have to buy a theme, it's going to be like $50 or $60. So it's not a huge investment. I don't think you should be hiring a designer to design a website when you're first getting started. You can get it redesigned later on, but right now you're just still figuring out what your audience needs and wants. So I would have some initial costs on just starting your website. That's very minimal. That's maybe maximum you're going to spend $100 for that investment. And I would spend some time, writing your blog, start writing about what you're going to be offering the world, and then start working on your actual offer, what you're going to be offering your customers. Now, I'm not sure what your business is, if it's physical goods like clothing, or if it's a electronic product or a soft product like software or an ebook or a training course. But if there is some investment you need to make in terms of purchasing a product or purchasing materials like inventory, then that's obviously something you're going to have to invest in. And I would invest a small amount, maybe $400 to $500 in that, just to see if people will buy. You need to make some initial sales to see what your return on investment is on that first initial inventory. Now, if inventory is something that you don't have to worry about because you have an online or soft business where you're selling, soft goods like a course or a software or an ebook, for example, then I would spend some time on creating this ebook and getting it professionally done, maybe through a graphic designer to do the cover or hire an editor to edit your ebook. And then I'd probably spend the rest of the money on marketing. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean using the money on ads. Yes, you can, try working on Facebook ads or whatever you choose, but this could also mean investing in a tool to help you market better, like a webinar platform, like a email marketing service or tool, like even joining a community that you can get to know other people and network. And that leads me to the last thing I'd probably spend some money on if you have some left over is going to a conference, going to somewhere where you can meet other people and network and talk about what you do. And it's also just good to make friends with people that are doing the same thing as you. You learn about other people in your market and you get to grow and realize what's out there. I think attending conferences for me was really one of the big things that helped me get a better perspective on my market and my audience. So I would spend some money on that if you have some left over from the $1,000. So yeah, to wrap up, I would say, make sure you got a website in order so you can start blogging, spend some money on your actual initial product or offering, use some of that money to market your product, and you have some money left over, go and network at a conference. Sarah, I hope that answers your question. Guys, if you have a question you want answered here on the show, on Q&A weekends, just email us at contact@100mba.net or use our Speak It option on the show page at 100mba.net/show. I just mentioned conferences in Sarah's answer. I got a few things I want to tell you about that. But before that, let me tell you a little bit about today's sponsor, Freedom Fastlane. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Freedom Fastlane is today's sponsor and one of my favorite podcasts. You've been listening to the $100 MBA Show, and now you're ready to start a business or you want to take your business and life to the next level. This is one show that you should definitely subscribe to. My favorite episode is the one where he outlines how you can make and keep $2 million in 2 years. I also like a show where Ryan explains how to invest your profits for passive cash flow so you're not exchanging time for money. You'll hear these episodes and more to grow your business on Freedom Fastlane. So open iTunes, type in Freedom Fastlane, and hit the subscribe button. So I mentioned conferences in the answer to Sarah's question. This Friday, Free Ride Friday, the episode is all about conferences you should attend in 2015, conferences that I recommend you should go to. I will be attending these conferences along with Nicole, so I hope to see you there. It'd be great to see you there as well. So make sure you tune in on Friday to hear about that, and tune in every day, guys. We're here for you every single day of the week. All right, guys, I want to leave you with this. Sarah asks what she could do with $1,000 to start her business. So you can see you could do quite a lot with just $1,000, and you can actually do a lot with less. You know, I broke it down into 4 parts. If you only have $500, you only have $300, just start out with the first part. Start out with a website. And then when you have a little bit more money, you can work on the next part. Basically, if you can spare $10, $15 a month, you can start a website and start building your online business. You really need the time. That's really what you have to invest. You have to put in the time. You have to sacrifice a bit of TV or maybe a bit of Netflix, but it's going to be well worth it. You're building something for yourself, for your future, and you're doing something that you enjoy, so it's not really a sacrifice. So no matter how much you have to get started, just get started. My biggest regret was not starting earlier, and I think most entrepreneurs would say the same. All right, guys, I'll check you in the next episode. Take care.